Hello, hello, welcome to another video. Now, I don't do these videos, you know what, I don't think I've done one of these videos like ever, talking about toy news. I'm actually thinking I might do this as like a mini-series or like a side thing, because I've never, there's plenty of people out there that do this kind of thing, either in a live stream or part of a podcast or what have you, talking about upcoming toy news, but I wanted to do this one specifically because I'm really wanting to get my hands on this set. And so I thought to just make a little video while I've just got the moment to do it. I could have done this as a stream, but I don't really have the time to at the moment. And so you're just going to have to make do with a video. Let's talk about these new leaks, shall we? These leaks for these new toys or this new set. Well, there's actually specifically one set and another figure that has been leaked. Many of you will already know of this. This is relatively old news. It's, I think this has been known about for at least a week now. So first of all, while I'm talking, I'm going to have some images. This is the set. This is the new Bumblebee, or is it Buzzworthy, I believe it's known as, the Buzzworthy collection. And this is the full-on set of all figures included. So within this set, you get Nemesis Primal. You get, obviously, Bumblebee, which is obviously based upon, I believe it's the Generations model or mould of Bumblebee. So it's also what was used for Cliff Jumper and Bug Bite and Hubcap and a few other characters that was done in that mould. So we're getting that mould again. Some people probably might get turned away from that because I bet a lot of people already have that Bumblebee. But to be honest with you, I don't have that specific mould of Bumblebee. So I want to get this set mostly because I don't have that Bumblebee in my collection. The next figure is a figure called Fangry. Now, I'm not massively familiar with Fangry, so I'm assuming he is part of the Terracons, I would assume, or at least that's how I perceive his look. So Fangry, he looks pretty damn awesome. He really does look pretty cool, so I want to get him because I don't know much about him, so I would like to get him in my collection because I've never had a Fangry in my collection like ever. Then obviously you get Bumblebee. And of course, you get Black Arachnia, who is obviously a slight retool and recolour of Kingdom Black Arachnia. I already have Black Arachnia, the normal Beast Wars version, but I like this version. I like the colour palette. I like the leopard print on the chest plate there and everything. So I would like this version because it kind of reminds me roughly of like the Transmetal version of Black Arachnia, where she's more purple. I know it's not Transmetal Black Arachnia because slightly is different, but I do like that decor. So so I'm really kind of intrigued. Hello, Puss. I'm really kind of intrigued by that set. So there's that image. So let's have a quick look at the next image, which is an image of the back end of all the artwork on the back of that set. So as you can see, so you get a nice bit more of a clearer look at the figures. I'm intrigued with this set, mostly because Nemesis Primal has never really been a thing. There was a point in Beast Wars, or there was an episode in Beast Wars where Primal did go berserker. He didn't go Predacon or anything like that. He didn't go evil. It was just like a temporary thing with the Cyberbug thing, Scorponok Cyberbug or whatever it is, that was clamped to his chest, and it kind of made him really aggressive. And the Maximals used that for him to infiltrate the Predacon ship and base, and in order for them to get the vaccine or whatever, in order to cure Optimus. And so I don't know whether that is kind of a little nod or the reason why they decided to do a Nemesis Primal, or if it's just, well, there's a Nemesis Prime, normal Optimus Prime, why don't we just do a Nemesis version? You know, there are different alternatives. There are different color variations for Primal. There always has been. You know, you've got the Fire Convoy, which was the complete red and orange version of the original toy. Then obviously you've got the original toy, which is Primal colours, and then you've got the green one. There's like a green one as well. There's also like, I don't know, there's about 3 or 4 different colour variations for just the original toy alone. And then you've got the anniversary one, which I think was the 10th anniversary, which was more detailed. So there's quite a few variations of that original mould. So I'm really intrigued by Nemesis Primal because I'm a big fan of Nemesis Prime. I absolutely love the idea of Nemesis Prime. I also am a big fan of Shattered Glass Prime as well because I just love the colour variations of those figures. I know Shattered Glass Prime and Nemesis Prime are 2 different characters. Obviously, Shattered Glass is obviously the reversible thing. The Autobots are the bad guys, the Decepticons are the good guys in that continuity. But with Nemesis Prime, he is practically, you know, depending of, you know, I don't know, depending of the time scale, whether you're going by comic books or whether you're going by certain different media, Nemesis Prime has kind of been different, you know, because in the Robots in Disguise in 2001, there was a character called Scourge, which I don't know why, I don't know whether they could get the license in to call him Nemesis Prime, but Scourge, they kind of made him a separate character, his own character, but yet he did look quite Optimus Prime-like. But Optimus Prime himself was very different in his design as well. So it was kind of like they were made different, but yet they were both trucks. But yet the design for Scourge did come from the idea of Nemesis Prime, but yet they called him Scourge. So you've got that version, and then obviously you've got Nemesis Prime through the media. He's also coming into Kingdom as well. So yeah, you know, in the Kingdom Netflix series, so he's actually in there. So yeah, you know, he's been a part of it. You know, Nemesis Prime has been a part of it a lot throughout the timeline of continuity. So I think it's about damn time that we got a Nemesis Primal, because it just makes sense in my eyes. Other people probably think it's a waste of money, waste of plastic, no point whatsoever. But I just like the idea of an evil version of Primal. So I will be getting that. I'm getting this set. I'm telling you right now, I'm getting this set. I know people won't be very surprised because there's 2 Beast Wars characters in there, 2 very different, you know, you've got, one thing I do like about Primal, Nemesis Primal, is there is a brand new face sculpt for Primal as well. So you've got a slightly different, you know, it's slightly different mould for the head. And then obviously you've got the face plate, so he's got a full-on face plate battle mask. But the original Primal toy, it wasn't a closed face mask or battle mask. It was just a normal mouth. So at least that's one good thing, is that it's not just a straight up. I mean, it is still a little bit lazy because it's just a head sculpt difference. But at the end of the day, it's a slightly different head. Rather, you know, it's a slightly different head between both figures, so they are you know, you can identify them as 2 different bots. So yeah, so that's that set. So we've spoken about that one. The next bot I want to talk about is there was another leak of another figure of Ravage, Beast Wars Ravage. So there's the box that was kind of leaked first, and I'm a huge fan of Beast Wars Ravage, and I really am intrigued by this figure. Obviously, I believe the actual main mould or the foundations of that figure is obviously based on Cheetor. So but I think it's been heavily modified. So I think, like, obviously the arms are slightly different, the legs are slightly different. So I think they are using the Cheetor mold, but they're also remolded or added bits to it to make it look a bit different. Also, how the legs on the backpack or whatever, how they are different as well. Because on Kingdom Cheetor, the backpack, the cheetah legs kind of like cross like that, so they kind of like cross themselves on the back. But it seems with Ravage, you can just kind of you pivot them back and they just hang low. In my opinion, I actually think that's better. I just like the idea that they've not just recoloured, because they've done that in the past. You know, they've done Beast Wars Ravage, which was just basically a painted up different version of Cheetor. It was always was based on the Cheetor toy, even in the original toy line. And they also did a Transmetal version as well, which again was based off both the Cheetor toys. But yeah, they just slightly changed the head sculpt basically to, you know, so that obviously with Ravage, it is basically he has like a full-on panther head, and the rest of him is robot. But with Cheetor, he has an actual head sculpt. So he has actually a robot mode head. One of the pictures I want to talk about that an accessory that you get in the set with Ravage, you actually get a cassette Ravage, which is obviously what he was before, because I actually do like that they've actually added that in the set, so you get a cassette Ravage as well as Beast Wars Ravage. So I do really like the idea of including a cassette of Ravage to go with Beast Wars Ravage. I think that's very, very good marketing. The only issue with this is, from what I can gather, is it says in the articles I've seen for this that it's actually a PulseCon exclusive, but I've also heard that it's also going to be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. So I don't know how the hell I'm going to get my hands on this thing. I assume hopefully someone will be able to get a small quantity of them for people outside of those. We'll just have to wait and see, because obviously nobody seems to really know of a release date for these. At least, I mean, obviously these have been leaked to us. I mean, there was originally leaked as really badly pixelated photos that you couldn't really make much out of, and it's only very recently that they've been making that they've released or shared on Instagram and through articles like Cybertron and so on and so forth, that they've shared articles of proper, more high resolution, more clear images. On a closing point then for this video is I'm really intrigued by the set, the 4-figure set, and also I'm really intrigued by that Ravage, because it's been a while since we've had an official Ravage figure. It has been a little while. I know I recently picked up a third party Ravage, which is actually a more of a masterpiece scale. So yeah, what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think? I mean, some people out there will be like, nah, Beast Wars, couldn't care fucking less of either of these sets. But for me, it's not just the Beast Wars factor, it's the fact that obviously I don't have to spend loads of money just to get that one Bumblebee, because obviously that, I could probably pick up that Bumblebee relatively cheap now on its own. But the fact is that I want all of those figures. Mostly because I don't know much about Fangry. I really don't know much about him. And what's cool is Fangry does actually come with his headmaster as well. So he is actually a proper headmaster. So obviously Fangry is obviously part of the Takara continuity of G1, I assume. So he must have either been one of the Monstercons or Terracons or whatever you want to call them. So I mean, obviously, I'm only aware of like Mind Wipe, and because when I look at Fangry, his alt mode and his robot mode, he kind of reminds me of a little bit of Mind Wipe, mostly because of what Mind Wipe kind of like transforms into. It's kind of like a mixture of like a weird bird bat thing. But yeah, I do really like that set, and I'm definitely down for that Nemesis Primal. I just love the color variation of Nemesis Primal. He looks. I just love it. Like the teal, you got a bit of teal in there. You got it's just beautiful combination of color. And I really like that Black Arachnia. Like I said, I've already got Kingdom Black Arachnia, and she looks brilliant. But I would like that version as well to go alongside her. But anyway, so that is the video for today. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If anybody's interested and would like me to do more of these, or maybe consider them as a stream at some point, but I don't want to copy everybody else, because this is why I kind of stay away from this kind of video, because it is quite overly saturated out there on YouTube talking about new toys and toy news and things like that, because there's loads of people out there in America, in the UK, and other places around the world that do either a live stream or a podcast of some kind, and they kind of talk about bot news, toy news. I don't really want to kind of. That's why I kind of stay straight away from that kind of thing. But I thought to just do this because I'm very interested in these sets. I'm a big fan of Beast Wars. Wow, who knew? But yeah, I'm definitely down. If I can hopefully get that Ravage, and hopefully I can get hold of that set, I'll be a very happy man. I'll be happy. So, thank you. See you soon, and stay safe. Bye bye.